friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Julie, and if you are new here, welcome. I have a fun haul to share with you today. I recently had the pleasure of meeting up and hanging out with my sweet friends LeAnne and Nettie. Many of you know LeAnne of Crafty Kitty Vintage here on YouTube, and Nettie as well. She's a sweet and wonderful friend to all of us here in the vintage and crafting community on YouTube. So the first place and kind of the main event of the day was meeting at Remainders, which is called, I guess the title of the shop is Remainders Creative Reuse. I think of it as an arts and crafts thrift store. It's located in Pasadena, California. I will put all the information down in the description as well. Their little card here says they're a creative space, materials thrift store, and I guess also a gallery. I'll put their hours as well. And this is good to know too. When I was checking out, I had mentioned to the person that was helping me, I was like, oh, I should have brought things in to donate. And we were there on a Sunday and she said, we don't take donations on Sunday. So that is good to know. Next time we'll have to meet up on a Saturday. But it looks like here they take donations Wednesday through Saturday from 10 to 5. So if you're in the area and you have art supplies and crafting supplies to donate, I bet they would absolutely love it. And they also gave a little card here, which I guess you can get clipped. And if you get 10 stars, you get 20% off your next purchase. So that is very fun. Oh, and I also wanted to say, after we left Remainders, we discovered a great little coffee shop in the area. In fact, it was recommended by two of the people that worked at Remainders. It was called The Reyn, R-E-Y-N. I'll put the information for that down below. Really delicious lunch. You could tell it was kind of a little hole in the wall, a local eatery. And in fact, one of the things that they served with their breakfast and lunch was homemade banana bread. And all three of us took home loaves of banana bread. It was so good. And then we also hit up the antique stores over in Burbank. So we drove over to Burbank after that and hit up a bunch of little antique stores, went into Goodwill. That was a big letdown, of course, as our Goodwills tend to be here in Southern California, but it was a really fun day and I can't wait until we do it again. Okay, so I'm just going to dig in. Some of these things are kind of open. Some things I shared with Nettie and LeAnne, and some things I've dug into and crafted with a little bit the last couple weeks. I will insert some pictures also here as I'm talking of kind of what the inside of Remainders looks like, but it is just rows and rows and big plastic tubs full of stuff. So lots of digging, lots of looking through bins, but you can think of as far as crafting and art goes, they have it. As Nettie and LeAnne and I said, it was a little overwhelming. LeAnne and I have both been there separately, and it was Nettie's first time being there, and it is definitely overwhelming. The volume of stuff, just the digging, lots of people there, lots of people shopping and buying, but it's a ton of fun. So one of the things I found is this really cute ribbon. I just think it's adorable. And the woman that was helping me cut the yardage, she said they had just gotten it in the day before. So I think that was a lucky find. And I don't know, it's very inexpensive. I think it was like maybe 2 yards or 3 yards. I think that they cut off of this big spool. In fact, when she was done helping me, there was another woman behind me and she's like, oh, look at that ribbon. That's so adorable. I want some of that. So super cute. I'll do all the textiles first. The other thing I picked up was this grab bag. And they're just little appliques. Almost looks like something that would have been used on, you know, like a wedding dress or a veil. Very, very white. I think I'm going to I think I'm going to experiment a little with these. I might see if they will take tea dye or coffee dye. I think that would be fun to do with some of them. They would look lovely on the cover of a journal, but I think a little too white for me. The other thing I like about them is I can come in and cut them apart. So just use the little pieces separately, maybe add them to clusters. Yeah, like this could be sectioned off, the flowers could be cut out individually. So that's probably what I would do with them as well. But I will update you and see how successful I am with the coffee dyeing. I've never dyed like kind of a synthetic textile like this, so we'll have to see how that goes. The other textile that I picked up was, it was a grab bag of all this sort of red, white, and blue patriotic material. I already opened the bag. I dug into it a couple days ago because I have that patriotic journal going, and I think this was the favorite. I could only see some of the fabric that was in the bag, but this I think is my favorite. Very kind of retro, still in that red, white, and blue, but oh, I would love to have a big piece of that. But all these really great patriotic materials in here, and then of course you know how I love a polka dot, so I would probably even use that at Christmas. There's a primary red. This would be great at Christmas too, this little plaid here. But that was a great grab bag. I think it was maybe a couple bucks at most. I'm trying to remember how much. Do I have my receipt here? I have my little pile of receipts here. I don't have. I feel like, did I maybe spend 20 something? I think the bill was probably 20 something. And then these were a really fun find. In fact, I've dug into these too. I need to figure out a different way to sort of package them, but these are great. In fact, I'm gonna look up and see if this company still makes them, but it's by Doodlebug Design Inc. They're called paper frills, and they're just these long paper die cuts, and they're so adorable. To me, they're kind of reminiscent of Rick Rack. In fact, I think there's some, in fact, let's open, yeah, let's open this one because it's already opened up. But the reason why I need to repackage is that I found once I started pulling them out, it was hard to get back in the package. But look at that, paper Rick Rack. You know how I love Rick Rack, but they're so cute. These little dots, really great. It doesn't look like, I mean, I don't know. They look brand new. I don't know if any of them were used. Very full packages. So these are fun. I didn't look at these. What do we do with these? These are interesting. What do you do with those? Just glue them on like that? Are they like, I don't know. These are kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I would use that, like grass or something. I don't know if anybody's familiar how I would use these sort of cut and perforated things, but I think these are all kinds of wonderful. So I had a blue way, and then these are yellows, and there's some oranges in here, and then these are all pinks, but you can see it's they're kind of fiddly to get back in, so I'll have to find a good way to store those. And then this pile here is just all cards and papers, a lot of fun things I found. This one I already dug into, and they are like little place cards, I think. Yeah, Francis Meyer place cards. And of course I was looking for things that kind of fit with the patriotic. Let me see if I can get one out here. So they're place cards that you can fold in half, but what I ended up doing, just so I get a little extra mileage out of them is I ended up cutting it in half, and I'm using it in that patriotic journal just to have a, you know, cute little piece of ephemera to tuck into a pocket, thinking that, you know, somebody could write a message on there or some kind of memory, and they could even glue it down. So looks really cute in the journal. This is a little packet of Easter cards. So this one must have been $1. And it looks like it's a pack of 8 cards and envelopes. Is there a greeting inside? Yeah, you're as sweet as can be and so special to me. So I think these are very adorable. I'll use these as little notes to stick into people's packages. And these would be fun to tuck into an Easter journal. These were really cool. All this stuff too I found just digging through a bin. So this caught my attention, this sort of tall ship card here, and I thought it would probably be really fun to stick into the journal. And these definitely have some age to them. In fact, I think I've had something similar that I sold in my Etsy shop. These are Clinton prints, and they're such a beautiful quality. The paper is kind of like a heavyweight watercolor type paper, and I almost want to say these are sort of a screen print looking, but really nice with matching envelopes. And then these all have kind of like a patriotic kind of eagle image here, and I think these are really nice. I may end up, I don't know, I'll have to look these up. I may end up, maybe this ship one, because there's just one, I may put that in the journal. And these, I'll have to do a little bit of research on them. I may end up putting these into my Etsy shop, so I'll see. Oh, it looks like, oh, okay, so we have different color envelopes. So we have some light blue and some dark blue here. Really pretty. So I'll have to look those up a little bit. Oh, okay, Clinton prints out of Clinton, Connecticut. $1.25 originally. Those were fun. And then I don't know what is in here. This is just a little packet. Maybe postcards, Christmas postcards. So this looks like a little packet of die cuts here, which are awfully cute. Those will be really great to collage with. And I sometimes I just like to glue a little something maybe on the corner of a page. Really cute. Feliz Navidad. I also like that there's a little bit of metallic to them too. Happy holidays. Really cute. Holly Jolly. Merry Christmas. So those will be fun. And there's a lot of cards here. So they're kind of a mid-weight cardstock. Oh, these are great. These will make really great journaling cards, perfect journaling cards. In fact, I don't know that I'll do anything with them. Probably would just slip them into the pockets of a journal this way. Oh, these are cute. These are really great. Maybe something like this when it's plain, I can do a little bit more collaging, but oh, how cute is that? Oh, these are perfect. These were a good find. How cute is that? Oh, those are great. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Fa la la. Joy. Oh, these are beautiful. In fact, these would even make, now that I'm thinking, these might make fun little notebooks too. In fact, where's that? There was that plain one here. I don't know if that's the right corresponding one, but these would probably make cute little notebooks too. I can put, you know, punch holes and use the little metal binding rings. So yeah, lots of possibilities with those. Oh, this is fun. This is probably the most fun thing. So Nettie found these and she's like, oh, do you want them? She knows how much I love Richard Scarry. So these are tattoos. Trim it yourself, Richard Scarry temporary tattoos. Super fun. Of course, I guess I'm spoiling it because I said, oh, maybe I'll put one on during a vintage crafted chat and see if anybody notices and try to pretend like I got a tattoo and it's a Richard Scarry tattoo. But these are going to be fun to do something with. And I'm thinking I can just fussy cut. I'll have to do a little test. I've done that with vintage, like the water slides. And I was able to just kind of fussy cut them and then glue them on. So I'm thinking these may work the same, but aren't those adorable? Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely the best one. Oh, look at her. She's all covered in her Richard Scarry tattoos there. So yeah, I think that's probably that's the most fun thing of the day. I picked up this just very general notepad here, but I liked the bold red stripe here. In fact, I've already tucked at least one page into that patriotic journal. So I like the blue and the red, and I didn't have any paper like that already. It's a perfect size for a smaller journal. And this paper pad too, Hello You. In fact, I think I shared some of this with Nettie and LeAnne, and it's just fun paper just to fold up for more writing space in a journal, but I really like the graphics. Let's see, what are the different graphics? I thought it would be fun to collage with. So it has this kind of red triangles and the blue sort of honeycomb print. What do we have here? This is probably going to be hard to see, but it's a little pale kind of yellow polka dot, very, very pale. It's probably hard for you to see. And then little pink polka dots, but I thought that would be really fun paper to collage with or tuck in a journal. LeAnne spied these. Looks like it was $1, and they are Japanese sewing patterns. I'm not sure if she picked one up or not. I have no idea what it's for. Oh, a bodice, back bodice. But I just thought this would be really fun. I keep talking about wanting to make a Japanese themed journal, and I think this would be great to cut this up and collage with it. So that was a great find. And then the other thing I came across was the Screenwriter's Initial Draft Pad, which I thought was super cool. It looks, I shared some of this with Nettie and LeAnne too, but I'm always on the lookout for just interesting, different, kind of cool looking paper that I can include in signatures. And I just thought this had a really great look. Of course, the blue caught my eye. I'm always crazy for anything that's blue, but I like the lines. I like the graphic look of it. And I think this will be really fun to, yeah, add into signatures. And what else? Okay, let's bring this over. Now these were fun. Again, it's opened. I had shared some of these as well. And in fact, I think it's gonna take forever to use these up. So I may keep a couple and probably put the rest of these in my Etsy shop, but they're just, I guess they're price tags. They're sticky on the back. They were probably meant for like a pricing gun at, you know, grocery store or a store, but I just think these will be really fun to collage with, sort of similar to collaging with a postage stamp or blue chip stamps, which of course I love. And yeah, I think those will be fun. I think those would be great in a collage. So yeah, look for these in my shop when I get around to listing those. I also found this whole tray. I have really started to love these clear acrylic trays and boxes when I can find them. So if I can find them inexpensively, I will pick them up. And this was just 50 cents. So I grabbed this as well. And also the reason why I love them is look how well the vintage seam binding and rickrack packets fit into them. So I've been utilizing these in my ribbon and trim drawer, and I can stack them. So yeah, I always have my eye out for those now. This is a cute little packet. Looks like originally 21, and they're just little Christmas Noel tags. And again, I thought they would be really fun in a Christmas journal, would just be a great collage element on a little card or something. And what I do, sometimes I'll come across something that has a hole in it and I want to use it in a different way, right? Other than using it as a tag. So if something has a hole here, I will get, like, my little trick is to get maybe a sequin or kind of glue something on there that covers up the hole so it doesn't look like it was originally a tag or had a hole in it. It's just that it's a regular die cut. So I think those are fun. Of course, it would be cute too. You could add it to a dangle, maybe fortify it, maybe make it a little bit thicker, but it's a little bit on the large side, but it may look cute as a little dangle too, or just a dangle inside a journal. But that's my little trick when things have circles or hole punches in. This is just a little packet. Again, I opened it up and it's these little teeny tiny brads. I don't even know if you guys can see those. Hopefully it's coming through clear, but they're the tiniest little brads I've ever seen, and they're little stars. In fact, now that I'm looking at these, I should probably use some of these in my patriotic journal too, but all different colors, silver and bronze tone, sort of a dark gray there, but I thought those were cute. And I don't have like a lot of brads, especially that kind of have these different designs, so those were fun. Oh, and that reminded me, because I already I opened these to share in Angela's packet too, and then I had stuck them next to me. It just jotted my memory that I also picked up these brads. So it says 50 paper fasteners. Let me see if I can open these. And these are cute little snowflakes. Aren't those adorable? So there's, I think, blue ones and little white ones. That might be, oh, and then like a lighter blue. I forgot I had those. And here's the tray, of course. What's that? Oh, that's just part of the tray. And then they had, again, all these drawers and bins of rickrack. Not that I need any more seam binding and lace and rickrack, but I thought these were really fun and beautiful colors. Beautiful teal. Also, I love, let's see, is that the same? Yeah. Oh, and I specifically grabbed these two. I like the red, white, and blue. And in the past too, if I've done a little decorating seasonally here in my craft area, I love these in particular that have this red, white, and blue, and they're fun to display 4th of July or any kind of patriotic holiday. If I'm doing a little vignette or tiered tray or something, I think these are kind of fun to stick on that. So those caught my attention. They're seam binding as well. Little tiny rickrack, which I can never pass up. Here's some beautiful laces and some blues and teals. Here's some green lace, more teal, sort of a rose-colored seam binding, and then more rickrack. In fact, I don't think I have any black or this color green, and I thought these would be really great for Halloween journals coming up. And that is it. so fun. I can't wait to go back. Hopefully the next time LeAnne is in town, I'm sure the three of us will want to go check it out and meet up again. As I said before, I'll try to put all the information down in the description, the address of Remainders and the address of that great little lunch spot. And what a fun day I had. Can't wait to do it again. And I hope you guys all enjoyed the haul. I will see you in the next video. Thank you, friends.